Hey, this is Booker T, 5-time champ, and you're watching Comics Artist Pro Secret, and you're looking real jack, baby. Now can you dig that?
All right, hey, it's Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You're listening to Ethan Van Sciver, 25-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming man, great big Star Wars fan. More sad news. You know, we just said goodbye to Stan Lee, and it just seems like 2018 is going out like a bear, and we're taking some big losses here. Stan Lee, he lived into his 90s, and I think he lived a long life, and we knew it was coming. We knew losing him was coming. But I wasn't aware that Stephen Hillenburg was battling Lou Gehrig's disease the way that he was at such an early age, 57 years old, and we have lost the creator of SpongeBob SquarePants. He was most certainly a genius, and you know what it is? I have to say, there's something about being able to capture the imagination and the sense of humor of a generation of children in a new way, in a way that does not relate back to something that you saw growing up. This guy was a genius. My son Hunter, when he's 19 years old now, he was a kid right when SpongeBob first came out. It really got to him. SpongeBob was coming out of my ears as a young parent because he watched every single episode of it multiple times. He had the DVDs. I have a very fond memory, and it's kind of sad and bittersweet, of my son being 3 years old, and we took him to the swimming pool of the hotel of the apartment complex that we lived at in Orlando, Florida, and he was running around and he got bit by a red fire ant, and we found out that he was allergic to red fire ants and their bites. He went into anaphylactic shock, and we had to take him to the emergency room. And I remember how scared he was, his little 3-year-old face. He was terrified, he was in pain, and they in the emergency room, they gave him medicine, and they turned on the TV, and the first thing that was on the TV was the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and it calmed him right down. And I remember watching it, like, his little body, he was all swollen up. The swelling went down, and his humor came back, and he began to laugh at the SpongeBob movie. So I will always remember that. I'll always remember the fact that we had the SpongeBob CD soundtrack in our car. I listened to a song about Sandy the Squirrel about 150,000 times. I'm very sad that somebody who did so much and gave so much to my family, and I'm sure yours, somebody who really shaped the sense of humor of my son's generation, somebody who was able to find that, somebody who was able to reach into himself and find something unique and wonderful and good that actually touched and entertained a generation of kids that were, they're 25 years younger than him. That's something special, and it's something to be admired and celebrated. I want to read the eulogy, I guess it would be called a eulogy, from Nickelodeon, the people who employed him, who were his friends, I assume. They said, we are incredibly saddened by the news that Steve Hillenburg has passed away following a battle with ALS. He was a beloved friend and a longtime creative partner to everyone at Nickelodeon, and our hearts go out to his entire family, the network said in a statement. Steve imbued SpongeBob SquarePants with a unique sense of humor and innocence, that has brought joy to generations of kids and families everywhere, the statement said. His utterly original characters and the world of Bikini Bottom will long stand as a reminder of the value of optimism, friendship, and the limitless power of imagination. What a great... that's a great send-off. That's a great tribute to a very bright, very funny man. I loved noticing little... there were kind of naughty jokes in SpongeBob that were sort of aimed at the parents. I loved pointing those or realizing those and kind of, nudging my friends when we were watching it. And obviously SpongeBob has gone on. The great thing about SpongeBob is that he has become now to an entire generation of kids on the internet. He's become a meme. So many SpongeBob jokes end up sort of illustrating, and pointing out, the silly ways we communicate with each other. They're great for roasting your friends. The stuff just doesn't really age. It still seems to mean to this generation of kids, what some of the cartoons that I grew up with, still mean to me. Quick info about this great gentleman. Hillenburg was born in Lawton, Oklahoma in 1961. He graduated from Humboldt State University in 1984 with a degree in natural resource planning and became a marine biology teacher in Dana Point, California. In 1987, he pursued a career in animation and graduated with an experimental animation degree from the California Institute of Arts in Valencia in 1992. The following year, he began working as a writer and director on Nickelodeon's Rocko's Modern Life. I didn't know that. That had an opening song by the B-52s. That was pretty cool. He went on to work for the network full-time, producing his animated series that eventually became SpongeBob SquarePants, which debuted on May 1st, 1999. That's right, my kid. Oh my gosh, my kid was just born March 13th. So it's just like, it was something else. I do have memories of being a young dad and watching all of this from season one on. Joe Murray, the creator of Rocko's Modern Life, saw one of Hillenburg's short films and asked him to direct episodes of the show. That was really important for me because I wouldn't have known how to put together a show without that experience, Hillenburg said in a 2005 interview with Nick Animation. The show went on to win multiple awards, including 4 Emmys and 6 Annie Awards. 6 Emmys. Did I say Emmys? 6 Annie Awards. Hillenburg adapted his show for the big screen twice. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie was released in 2004. Oh, so my son must have been like 4 or 5 when that happened. For some reason, I remember him as 3. I just remember him being so small. The SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, debuted in 2015. Obviously, SpongeBob is comedy, but it really inspired me. It was inspired by me liking marine science, he told Nick Animation. I focused on that, and I never thought the two would come together. So I'm what can I say? 2018, of course, is going out the way I guess the past few years are going out. December's a really rough year. And a rough month for celebrity deaths. I'm saddened. I'm choked up by this because, again, I think about what he meant to my little boy, who is now a full-grown adult, and I think about some memories that are associated with the work, the inspiration, and the genius, the unique genius of this man, Steven Hillenburg. God bless him, and I guess let's keep those memes out there. Let's keep SpongeBob alive, and he certainly will live forever in that way. So rest in peace, good sir. Well done. Hey, want to follow me on Twitter? Okay, cool. I'm at Ethan Van Sciver. Talk to you there. If you enjoyed this video and want to become part of this community, subscribe to this channel by clicking the Laughing Man face logo right on your screen. Ring the bell for notifications as well. You'll never miss a live chat. And stay tuned, another video by Comic Artist Pro Secrets is coming right up.